Sean here from the small cap room. I just want to go over the updates that we did for the gap and crap with the fib levels because of I did a first video a couple of months ago on the gap and crap setups, and I had a trader DM me saying, how come your fibs are not the same as your first video? So I just want to give you guys a little update on the fib levels. Nothing really changed. I just added a supply zone right above my golden zone, and I'll show you very quickly what I did and what I'm looking for and how I use the fibs to get me interested in some levels, where to risk, and if I get stopped out, which other level where I'm looking at, and that other level would be the supply zone, and that's where Jay would be like starting to scale into and loading the boat into this levels, and I'll show you how we do that. So I'll start off with Archon, which is a good trade I took last week. So we had this thing popping up. There's another thing I want to show you. I had a couple of traders asking me, Sean, the three-wave, how do you see them, and how do you you're spotting them everywhere? Well, it's really not too complicating, because I'll give you it's not a secret, I'll just tell you how I do it. Is as soon as I have the first leg up and have a higher high, well, I'm basically just boxing in this level here, and I'm just drawing a trend over. Boom. And I'm just waiting. It's coming back down, and I'm waiting. At this point here, I'm looking for locates. I usually start with a third of my side. That's our rules in mentoring with Jay. So I saw this wick here, and I got in on this candle here. I hotkey in, and I literally put a stop over this here. So I was literally risking, what, 5 cents to go get the J lines here. I don't think I scaled out on the J lines here. I was actually looking for the 200 here. So I scaled out here, my full position of my pre-market. And what we should be doing is like going here and adding in VWAP, but I don't want to start adding because I had such a nice average here, and I want to get I don't want to start adding and this thing ripping against me and having a bad trade, a good trade go bad sort of thing. So that was the trade on Archon, and at this point here, I plot my fibs. So what levels we're looking at? Well, I just take my fibs, okay? I go from pre-market high to pre-market low, okay? Right here, pre-market low. And you leave that. You don't, if it makes another low after the bell, no. I want you to just plot it before the bell, okay? So it starts making a newer, higher low, well then that's where it's gonna go here, okay? So the levels that I'm really looking into, and well, we know the J lines now, they're off guards now. We shouldn't be taking them, and if you do take them, we have this. The 200 has to be right under here. So it has to be really fast. So the levels I'm looking into are this minus 38 here. Okay, as you can see, it blew over. I'm looking for this golden zone. As you can see, it didn't care. It went right through it, and I was looking for a setup here in the golden zone. I'll just remove that and get out of the way so you can see the picture here. So I want to see a high come down, a higher high, or a funky lower high, or give me a sign of selling. But it just went right through the golden zone. So right then and there, I went and got more locates. And the level that we're really looking to get into is right here, okay? In this, I call it the supply zone. Jay calls it the loading the boat zone, and his fib settings are not really different, because we also had a mentoring student ask me, Sean, why are you using these fibs levels and Jay's using these fib levels? They come out to the same, okay? I'll just do the exercise with you. So Jay's taking pre-market high, he's coming down to pre-market, well, yesterday's close, okay? Boom, okay? And the level that he's looking into is right here. I'm not making this up, I'm just gonna go right here. Okay. So we could be a few cents off. I notice that Jay's supply zone is a bit lower sometimes than mine, but that's okay. I mean, as long as we're getting in at the same levels, okay? This is when the ticker gets up into this level here, tape is going erratic. We've got a fight between sellers. We've got a fight between buyers. I mean, it's a tug of war. I mean, it's lit. Level 2 here, I love watching because it's freaking erratic. So what do? I'll just erase everything, and I'll show you how how I use the fibs, okay, if you're starting to nail some zones here. But here it didn't really work because I saw strength. We had, look, we had over like 500,000 or 600,000 buying here, which isn't a lot, but I mean, it still was very, very, very clear that there wasn't any selling into this golden zone. So I'll plot out for you guys again. I'll just give you what I'm looking for. And I do this and I post it in mentoring. So this is the level that I'm looking to scale into, okay? And if I would have started nailing this level here, my stop would have been here, okay? Literally a few cents over. I'm scaling into this level here, and my stop is literally over here. And that's all I really want. I want you to rather say, hey, Sean told me to start scaling into the golden zone. No, we're not saying that. We're saying look for some weakness in this level here. Look at level 2. Look on the ask. If we have like humongous size like on the ask, tape flying red, and then you're seeing like this setup here. You know, you see a high, and then we get a lower high, and then you can have something to risk from. You know, we have weakness. We have the seller here, and then buyers trying to buy the breakout. They can't, so they probably bought in here. And this is when this thing pops up, I'm gonna sell because I want to get out for a small loss. Okay, so this is the same thing I'm looking for as the golden zone, but it just didn't care here. It just went through, zipped through, and just went into here, and I nailed it here on the. And I wanted to add more size, but it just like was just so fast. It was like pop, nailed it, saw tape go red. I wanted to be with those sellers, boom, and it just dropped. I'm like, oh shit, I wasn't able to get my full size in. So that's how I measure for the gapping crap on that. We had BGI. BGI is also a nice setup. I wanted to point out. Here we go, BGI, okay? Again, 3-wave, I see it right away. What I do is I see a high here, just box this in, boom. It's not a clean 3-wave, but you know, if you saw this up, come down, and you see this topping here, jump in. Or if you really want to like be the secure trader, you pull your trend line, you get in here on this high here, and you put your risk level right above here. This is like the actual smart way to get in, okay? But I like to play a little bit with fire. Or I like to get in here and risk this high here. We're talking a few cents. We're talking 5 cents here. So it would have been a big deal. So at this point of this stage of the game, what am I doing? How am I plotting my fibs? I go from pre-market high, not this high here, the pre-market high here, boom, and you bring it down to here, the low before the bell, not this low, bring it down to this low here, boom, okay? Here's a perfect example of it's stuffing, like it went into my 38th wick, stuff, and dropped. So I hate that when this happens because I'm looking, hold on, let's scale this out a bit. What I'm looking for is this level of interest, you know. This is where I really want to get in, and we skipped it by a few cents. You could put some orders here if you want. You know, I'm a hockey guy. I love getting with hotkeys because it's instant. And I don't know if I had an order sitting here, and if I had an order here sitting here, like I don't know, at 130, 135, 140, and if these things were like bing, bing, bing getting hit, I would have got probably like emotional, if you want. So I'd rather get in with hotkeys, boom, hotkeys, and I got a hotkey too to get out. So this is like a weak fib. And also, we also know that if we have like 17 plus, like we had, what was the open candle? Look, we had almost 20. So we were projecting a gap and crap on this. Too bad I can't load on demand. I don't know what's going on, but I had 2 tickers that I wanted to review with you guys. Was DPW and EARS. EARS, we had like an 8% pullback, and DPW we had 12. But these things just literally did the gap and crap. Just went into our supply zone and just fell like a rock. But we were like anticipating for the gap extension. So those were 2 tickers that were kind of special this a few weeks back. But I can't load on demand. I'll get back to these gap and craps here. So this is like the level I was getting into. This golden zone. Again, put your stop. You know, put your stop a few cents over, like 5 or 6 cents if you're loading into this level here. If he breaks over here, we're really looking to get into this zone here. You set your stop a few cents over. And this is really basically how I like to use the fibs. I'm not using it to say, well, hey, there's a golden zone. It always goes, no. It's attracted to the golden zone. If we bust over the golden zone, I am looking to take this short here. And if this doesn't work, I'm getting out and let this thing run if it wants. But we have a higher chance the deeper the pullback, like the minus 20, the minus 25. You know, these are like typical setups that rarely they'll come and stop us out for a break of day, you know. We did have a ticker though last week that it did have a beautiful pullback. What was it? Dogs or Edge? These had like 25%. Let's do the homework together. Let's go and see. Was it Dogs? Yeah, Dogs. We had 26% pullback. So we're typically looking for a gap and crap. But look at this. It went really over our, my fib, market low, boom. So I would have been like starting to scale, looking at not the scaling, but this interest is like a high, and then like a three wave or a dip. Oh, sorry about that. And it just like busted over. And technically, it was like setting up for a gap and crap, and it did an extension. So it did the opposite of our rules. That's why we have to trade very intelligently. This is just a trend break, retest, and bang down. So I don't know who took this, but whoever did, I'm pretty sure they got stopped out because this like popped and rocked. So anyways, I'll get back to the gap and crap, how we set it up. Lizzie had a nice setup a few weeks ago. I didn't have any locates. I was very upset. This is our struggle these days. My trading plan has been changed. Usually I would get like a third size during pre-market. Let's just say if I got it in here, I'll get a third size. And as this thing was like unrolling, we'll trim up on the J lines. We're not cracking the J lines, and I think, did I take this trade? No, it was another trade. It was the same setup because I also had an order here sitting at the 200 and I got filled before the bell. Locates have been an issue, to be honest. So I would take 3/4, like nibble in short here on this higher low. This is the meta setup. Meta loves taking these. So a wick, higher low, and then he gets in. I would have probably chickened out and took this here instead because this is just me. This trend here, boom, trend crack, retest, fail. So, but I'm pretty sure Meta would have been nailing this here. And I just want to do something very interesting with you. I see something here. I want to just show you how fibs in general, how they work, okay? Clear, set, boom. Right here, I see a really nice fib opportunity here. So, we mark it high, boom, we bring it down to the low. And we're getting in like this golden zone. I would have liked to see it in the supply zone right here. This would have been a nice supply, boom, and then fall. But this is also not that bad. If you're taking like between this the 61 and the 78, this is like tape is going very, very quick red here. You're seeing a lot of people on the ass here, so shorten the crap out of this thing. So, okay, so before the bell, what am I doing? I bring my fibs. I like the fibs, guys, I like using fibs. And this is where you have to be patient. Some plays happen later on, like 9:50, 10:15. After 10:15, I'm very weary. I don't really take, I don't like to take trades after 10. Okay, 10 is like if I'm going in after 10, I'm not loading the boat here. If I would have got like most of my shares, let's just say if this thing was setting up for a gap and crap. Another thing I want to mention is that if we don't crack the J lines, typically before the bell, like I want to see this thing here, like you can see how they're holding. I don't like this. I would rather see this, boom, break the J lines. Like if you want, test the 200. I don't care. It's even better. This would have been like my last position out of the trade if I traded this pre-market. And this would have been setting up for the beautiful, beautiful A+ gap and crap. But since this came to the J lines and this is bobbing, I don't like this. There's also a short trap. Look at this here. Under view up. Hey, let's just stop everyone out here. So this is typically like, again, another game. Overview, over. Let's pull the rug. Boom. Traps are long. Longs are trapped. So at the bell here, there's a lot going on in this trade here, and I don't know if you really see it, but it's just, if it's doing this, okay, under view up, it swipes over view up to stop. Like everyone's jumping in short here. This is the rule of thumb. Let's get in short under view up. It's going under. But the market makers got things up their sleeves both ways here. So they trap shorts, they screwed them, and then they're bobbing over view up, they're collecting longs, and they screwed them. Okay. So there's two things. So as soon as I saw this that morning, I was like, this doesn't look natural. And what did it do at the bell? Well, it came down, touched the 200, under view up. Let's rate the shorts. We'll have a nice funky pattern here, maybe a divergence here. Yes, I see it. Here we have a higher high with less volume. This is also something you really got to notice. Okay, we got lower volume here, lower volume, boom. So we got a small divergence going on here. Then pull it under view up, under view up, under view up, under view up. So this should be an alarm for everyone. Okay, recognize this. Take a snapshot, put it on your screensaver, put it somewhere, tattoo it on your forearm or something. But this here is manipulation. This is like wounding up for a squeeze. You know, it's collecting shorts, collecting shorts, collecting shorts. Then boom, they rape us. And then they come to our supply zone. So Jay's probably waiting, and we have to wait a bit. 950, 10. Like if this was doing this move and making higher highs, don't jump in. Okay, I'm just saying that this supply zone where all these shorts are getting in, they're getting stopped out here. Jay's loading the boat here. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And that's the supply zone where I love to get in as well. Would I load the boat here after 10? No. You have to trade intelligently. Okay, I would have taken half size up here. Same thing as for the late day fade setup. You cannot load the boat on a late day fade setup. I either take a half or even a third. And it has to be a perfect late day fade setup. That's another video I'll be making another day for you guys. So supply zone, boom, put your stop right above and just let this thing rock. Okay, you trim out on the 200 and just aim for that 1,000 right here at the end of the day. Minus 27 also came into play here on the downside, and just trim out all here. So I'm pretty sure Jay probably nailed it and probably took everything out here at 312. And that's about it, guys. We had, I just want to spot out PLIN. I have my notes here. I just wanted to show you guys something. And this is really a patient game here, okay? I can see it right away. What did I tell you guys? Makes a high. Put your trend across. Don't be shy. Use your program to do it, okay? I always do this. Okay, I always do this. And I wait. Makes a higher high. Cool. I love this. I also see another pattern here. Train your eyes. Beautiful distribution. Beautiful distribution. And I was talking to Gabby later on today in mentoring. This is that distribution what I like. And she said, can you nail it on the underside? Here's a perfect example. Yes, Gabby, you can nail this on the downside, okay? Here, I'll make this a bit thinner so it'll be nice and sleek. Boom, okay? So, oh, I love this, my God. This gets me excited. But the bigger picture is the three wave, okay? So it's a higher high, high, higher high, and then comes down, retests our trend here. And this is like the bottom of our distribution, Gabby. This is for you, Gabby. So here, the distribution, if you want, I can bring this down just a tad for you. And I'll stretch it out for you. Okay, boom. So, crack the distribution, retest the support at new resistance. Boom. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Train your eyes to see this, okay? It happens almost every day. Okay, and then I would have liked to see this retest VWAP, but it didn't. And the way that I would apply this, I had this fib setting. I really want to nail this plin. It's in my my criterias. We had dilution. It was a turd, but it just didn't pop. So again, I would have boxed in my golden zone. Boom. My stop. And then I would have put my golden zone, my supply zone to load the boat. And if we did the fibs with J, I'm pretty sure they'll line up. Pre-market high. Is the close almost the same price? Yeah, the close is the same price, so I don't have to scale that. So here to here, I'll box in J zone, and I'm pretty sure they'll line up. So we're intercrossing each other. You know, so you get the picture. I just want to show you that. What's the difference between Jay's zone and my zone? It's the same thing. We're getting into the same level, okay? So that was it for Plin, and I just want to show you the trade I took. No, RCL, I did that. Okay, so that was about it, everyone. I just want to show you how I plot the fibs. I'll also give you my settings for the fibs. Okay. Boom. So you have your supply zone, you have the golden zone, that 38. I know Jay doesn't pay attention to this, okay? I guess it's just because the R factor isn't enough. But I've been getting some nice trades. You know, I did a couple of times. I missed this minus 32, 38, and this is the level I'm getting. I'll also set this up so you can see the actual fib settings. I'll give you a second if you want to take a look at that. If you want, just ask me. I can screenshot it and send it to you in a DM. But this is literally my settings. The minus 68, the minus 72, 27, sorry, the 0, 23, 38, the 50, the 61, the 78. So this is actually the really red zone, the supply zone. So if you have that, great. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, if you want to add anything, if you want me to go over anything, please don't hesitate. I love this stuff. I eat it, I sleep with it, I dream about it, and trading for me is just I mean, I can talk stocks all day. So if you guys want to hit me up, DM me, send me messages. If you want to go over some trades, how to take it, explain how to do a distribution pattern. What are you looking for? What are your risk levels? You know, there's so much we can talk about, and just trading is so fun. Okay, so if anyone has any questions, you know where to find me. DM me. Don't be shy. Have a good one. Thanks for listening.